Right now, your frontal lobe is swimming in toxic chemical waste. Every second you stay awake, adenosine accumulates inside your neurons. It acts like heavy sand dropping into a delicate machine. By hour 16, your body demands a biological reset. Tonight, when the sun goes down, you flip a switch. Normally, deep sleep causes your brain cells to shrink by 20%. Cerebrospinal fluid rushes through, washing away metabolic garbage. Dr. Maiken Nadergaard discovered this internal drainage system at Rochester. She called it the glymphatic system. But what happens if you refuse to let the water flow? You decide to stay awake past the 24-hour mark. Your body reacts as if you are fleeing a predator. Adrenaline spikes into your bloodstream to forced alertness. Cortisol levels surge by over 50%. Your blood pressure climbs while your heart beats faster. In your brain, a quiet disaster begins to unfold. Adenosine receptors in your cortex are completely saturated. Your reaction time drops to match a legally drunk driver. Yet surprisingly, you might feel a sudden burst of energy. This is the dopamine paradox. Your brain panic releases dopamine to keep you moving forward. You feel wired, optimistic, and strangely confident. But this is an illusion of control. Your executive function is already crumbling underneath the surface. By hour 36, your blood vessels lose their flexibility. Inflammatory markers flood your circulatory system. Your immune cells begin mistaking your own tissue for pathogens. Why do we sacrifice our sanity just to stay conscious? You press past the 48-hour barrier. Now, your brain enters survival mode. It can no longer maintain continuous electrical communication. Microsleeps begin invading your waking reality. For 3 to 10 seconds, your brain simply turns off. Your eyes remain open, staring blankly into space. But your thalamus snaps the front door shut. You are legally unconscious while standing on your feet. If you are driving, those 3 seconds mean 30 meters blind. Inside your skull, a far darker process takes hold. Normally, immune cells called microglia clean up damaged synapses. Neuroscientist Michel Bellesi tracked this activity in sleep-deprived mice. He found that prolonged wakefulness forces microglia into overdrive. They stop eating waste and start eating healthy connections. Your brain begins physically eating its own wiring. Astrocytes literally digest portions of cerebral synapses. You are actively destroying your own neural architecture. Hour 60 arrives like a heavy hammer. The prefrontal cortex completely disconnects from your amygdala. The amygdala is your brain's primitive fear center. Without executive control, your emotions swing wildly out of control. A mild joke triggers explosive, unstoppable laughter. A minor annoyance triggers sudden, irrational rage. Paranoia creeps into the edges of your thoughts. You suspect your friends are plotting against you. You glance over your shoulder at empty, dark corners. Have you ever felt a shadow move when nothing was there? By hour 65, visual processing collapses. Your visual cortex cannot parse raw optical data properly. Static patterns on walls begin to swirl and pulse. Shadow figures appear in the periphery of your vision. They disappear the moment you look directly at them. This phenomenon is known as peripheral hallucination. Your brain is desperately filling blank data gaps with nightmarish noise. Auditory hallucinations soon follow the visual distortions. You hear whispers calling your name in silent rooms. You hear distant, muffled machinery running underground. Your sense of time warps into complete incoherence. 5 seconds feels like an agonizing hour. 10 minutes vanishes in the blink of an eye. You lose track of where your body ends and room begins. You cross the 72-hour threshold. This is total cognitive failure. Your short-term memory capacity drops to absolute zero. You cannot finish a sentence because you forget the beginning. Complex thought becomes physically impossible. Researchers studying severe sleep deprivation note severe disorientation. Subjects forget their own names and age. Toxic proteins like beta amyloid reach extreme concentrations. These are the same toxic proteins associated with Alzheimer's disease. Your neurons are suffocating in metabolic sludge. Metabolic acidosis sets in across your entire body. Your body temperature drops as thermoregulation fails. You shiver uncontrollably despite being in a warm room. Your liver struggles to regulate blood sugar levels. Insulin sensitivity drops to diabetic levels within days. How long can a human body endure this self-inflicted torture? In 1964, 17-year-old Randy Gardner stayed awake for 264 hours. He set the documented world record for sleep deprivation. By day 3, he could not identify simple objects by touch. By day 11, he was completely unable to count backward from 100. He stopped at 65 because he forgot what he was doing. Modern ethics boards now forbid humans from attempting this experiment. In animal studies, total sleep deprivation is universally fatal. Rats deprived of sleep die within 2 to 3 weeks. They do not die from organ failure or infection first. They do not die from physical trauma. They die because their skin develops open sores and disintegrates. Their internal temperature regulation collapses completely. Sleep is not a luxury or a passive biological break. Sleep is an active, violent survival requirement. Every night you sleep, you are escaping a fatal toxin buildup. Without it, your brain turns its weapons on itself. Microglia continue cannibalizing healthy cerebral tissue. Synapses are severed one by one in the dark. Memories fade into static white noise. Personality fractures under the weight of chemical chaos. Your brain becomes a house burning down from the inside. Yet millions of people willingly deprive themselves every single night. We treat sleep like time stolen from our lives. We trade crucial repair cycles for extra hours of screen time. We drink caffeine to suppress the alarm bells ringing inside us. But adenosine cannot be deleted by coffee. Caffeine merely masks the receptors like tape over a warning light. The toxic sludge continues to pile up behind the tape. When caffeine wears off, the crash is catastrophic. Your brain demands its debt be paid immediately. Can you ever truly repay a sleep debt? Studies show partial recovery is possible after long sleep, but structural synapse loss cannot easily be reversed. The brain tissue eaten during 72 hours is gone forever. The scars left on your cognitive architecture remain permanent. Tonight, when you lie down in the dark, remember this. You are not just resting your tired muscles. You are opening the floodgates to save your own life. You are washing away the poison left by consciousness. Your brain is repairing the damage caused by living. Consciousness is a flame that slowly consumes its own candle. Sleep is the only reason you do not burn to ash. Look at your phone screen right now. Feel the faint sting of fatigue behind your eyes. That heavy feeling in your eyelids is an emergency alert. It is your microglia threatening to turn on your wiring. It is your glymphatic system begging for permission to wash away waste. You are one bad night away from chemical instability, 2 bad nights away from emotional breakdown, 3 bad nights away from losing touch with reality. Your sanity rests on a thin ribbon of daily slumber. Respect the biological engine under your skull. Do not force it to run without oil. Do not make it consume its own walls for fuel. Put down the device in your hands. Turn off the bright ambient lights around you. Close your eyes and surrender to the dark. Let the cerebrospinal fluid flood your cerebral pathways. Let the toxic proteins wash away into the night. Save your brain before it starts saving itself from you. Because if you do not choose to sleep tonight, your brain will eventually choose sleep for you, and it will take back what you stole by force. We do not sleep because we are tired. We sleep so we do not disappear.